This happened to my mother when she was about 4 months pregnant with me. I am going to tell it through her eyes, as she told it to me. Well, your father and I had just gotten the house. It wasn't in the best neighborhood, but I felt safe with your dad. We were friends with some of our new neighbors, so I felt like nothing bad could happen in our new little perfect home. It was summertime, and I was about 4 months pregnant with you. My hormones had just started to shift a little, and I was near that stage where everything you smell makes you hungry, or vomit. I remember going to sleep like any other night. Your dad had work in the morning, and I was planning on painting the kitchen the next day. The next thing I know, I'm being woken up by cigarette smoke. I can't stand the smell, so it woke me up pretty fast. For a minute or so I tried to just ignore it. I slept with the window open because it was so hot that summer. But it was so sickening and strong. I felt like someone was blowing it straight onto my face. That's when I started feeling strange. Like something was wrong, or like I had forgotten to do something important. When I realized the smoke smell was still pretty strong after about 4 minutes, I stuck my head out of the window to see where it was coming from, and why it had smelled so strongly. That's when I saw them. 2 big guys dressed in black clothes. One guy was smoking a cigarette and the other was working at the front door lock. They were trying to break in. One man was a lookout, I'm assuming, because he had his back turned from the door. The other had some tool in his hand, and was working busily trying to break it open. "Hey!" I shouted. That's all I said, or could think to say. I guess I wanted them to know I had seen them, thinking that would scare them away. One of the guys just looked up at me, stared for a few seconds, and then went back to trying to break the lock. That's when I woke up your father. Michael, someone's trying to break into the house. I whispered to him to wake up and call the police. He looked out the window. When he saw the man, he grabbed his shotgun and told me to be quiet and wait in the bedroom. So I did. I listened and listened, but after a couple minutes I heard nothing. Peeking out the window, I could see the 2 men still trying to enter the house. All of a sudden, to the far right, I see your dad coming up behind them. He went out the back door, and was now coming around to the front of the house. "Hey, what the fuck do you think you're doing?" he called to the men. "Fuck you, man," one of the guys said back. That must have made your dad really mad. Watching, I could see his body change positions like he was about to shoot them. "No," my dad said calmly. He cocked his gun, making a loud cracking sound that should have woken up the neighbors. "Fuck you." Both of the guys started apologizing frantically and booked it out of our yard. This is where I interject with a million questions. The main one asking why she didn't call the police. Well, I don't know, sweetie. We just didn't call. When your father scared them away, we thought it was going to be the end. And it was. So there just wasn't a need for police to get involved. After that, your dad got a new lock for the front door. We never saw them again.